Uh, Hello. Welcome to the second of the three previews for the last section of The Giver. As you can see, the image here is a little different from the last one. The last one was the game that was getting played. This one refers to what I affectionately call taking your son to work day, which we will get to shortly here. All right. So we're going to start with chapter 18. And chapter 18 is laying the groundwork for what's to come. All right. Based on Lily and her conversation with Dad in chapter 17, Jonas now has a fixation on release in his head. So he's going to talk to the giver a bit about it in 18. And that's where we're going to learn about what happened to the previous receiver, Rosemary. All right. So for now, take note of what happened to her and why it happened. It contrasts a bit with where Jonas is in the process. And one thing to keep an eye on 143 to 144, Jonas mentions something that is going to play a role a bit later on. It's going to lay the groundwork for something. And if you're reading attentively, you'll see that the gears are turning in the giver's head at the end of that chapter. All right? And that brings us to chapter 19, Take Your Son to Work Day. All right? Jonas is going to get to watch what release really is. And there's a few facets about this that are critical. Obviously, this is a turning point in the story. You should read it slowly, you should read it carefully, and make sure you're taking good annotations. All right? We've seen how Jonas is struggling to belong, how he's trying to hold on to relationships. At this point, he's only got a few left. His father, Fiona, Gabe, right? Asher that went away with the whole war game thing. And even Fiona, he's starting to drift from, but he's trying to hold on to these relationships. And he wants to believe in what he's been told. So as you watch this scene, compare it with what happened and what the father told Lily and him back on 136 to 137. Look for differences between the two. All right? That's important. Also, watch for how Jonas is responding to what's on the scene and what he keeps trying to get what he's seeing to match based on what he's been told and what he expects. All right? It's a real internal character versus self struggle. And he's really having a hard time with it. Another big thing to look at is, why is he watching this particular release? Whose idea is it, and why? Right? Why does he need to watch this one? Of all the releases he could watch, why this one? What is the objective here? Right? Why does the giver want this? All right. So keep in mind that. Watch his reactions and watch what really bothers him about what he sees, aside from the obvious nature of it. What is it he's really upset about? And that's what will then be processed in chapter 20, where he is pretty shattered and he's with the giver, and he's going to ask about Fiona. And the giver's answer about Fiona is very telling. Look at the wording. Look at how he words what Fiona does and how good she is at it. All right? And when you look at these threads, this is his connection to those he loves, now that he understands love, and they're being peeled away. All right? Doesn't have a connection to Asher. The thing with his father in chapter 19 is rough, and now Fiona. All right? This is going to then lead to them having a plan on how things are going to progress and what they can now do about it. When you're looking at the plan, think back to 143 and 144. That's where you can see the larger arc of what's happening here. And maybe this is all by design. All right, I'll just put that out there. Maybe there's a direct reason why the giver wanted Jonas to watch this release, because he already had in mind what needed to happen. All right. So that will bring you through chapter 20 and bring you up to the final 3 chapters of the book, all right, which we will explore in the next video. All right, so make sure you're taking good notes on these things. Again, you're trying to catch how he's breaking with society here, all right? The point of no return. That's what happens through this, and then we'll get the final domino to fall in the last section, all right? Good luck. Per usual, make sure you respond to the survey after you finish your reading and annotating, and that you have a good couple critical details that you can report out on in that survey. All right, I want to see your strongest annotation that you have for how this scene has affected him. All right, good luck.